Folks, it is not lost upon me, and nor should it be lost upon thee, that in the course of our lifetimes we may well see a tectonic cultural shift surrounding the meaning of the term Florida man. What once and for the time being still is used to describe a brave and beautiful independent soul housed in a body fortified by the ministrations of methamphetamine and gator jerky might now well begin to apply as well to solitary heroes of the Republic, folks like the protagonist in today's story who will rise up and place themselves firmly within the crosshairs of a woke society, knowing they might fall prey to its slings and arrows, but willing nonetheless to stand for the things in which they believe. Palm Beach County, Florida. Oh, don't you feel the salt air on your cheeks, the warm breezes as we ride the magic carpet of our imaginations into this sainted land? Feel the humidity, the sweat in the crack of your ass, the persistent curl in the locks of the hair on your head, and perhaps the hair elsewhere. Feel the Florida, my friends. Before us, laid out on a picnic blanket of this story, are Dr. Francis Deliu on one side and Emerald Cove Middle School's teacher, Rachel Raos, and the principal, Eugenia Smith Feeman. That is such a principal's name. Dr. Deliu is suing the school because of the hanging of an LGBTQ pride flag and because Rachel Raos, who teaches computer science, has allegedly been advocating for homosexuality as an alternative way of life. Now, initially, the good doctor merely requested that his son be removed from this particular computer science program to be placed in a different one, since, you know, the teacher's feelings about homosexuality really don't have anything to do with the course materials on computer science. Now, the school agreed initially, but without telling the father, they put the kid in an art class instead of another computer science class. And that's a problem for the dad because art class has nothing to do with his career. And I'll just break into editorialize here for just a minute. It's a middle school, so maybe the dad is one of those parents who goes a teensy bit overboard in molding his kid into the perfect doctor or lawyer type from an early age. But it's worth pointing out that A, that's his right as a parent, and B, children of immigrants who teach them to work really hard very often do become those doctorly, lawyerly, productive members of society that we should all like to see them become should they so choose. And C, isn't taking a kid out of a class where there's an LGBTQ flag and a teacher talking about it and putting that kid into an art class kind of taking him out of the frying pan and throwing him into the fire? Now, just saying. If he wasn't going to turn out gay before, maybe the art class was going to do it. Anyway, I digress. The hearing for this lawsuit is actually scheduled for today, so it's anyone's guess whether it'll go through or not, and what the repercussions for the school will be if the father wins. But I want to point something out here that kind of rises above the individual story and applies to the type of situation at large. Parents are responsible for their kids pretty much lock, stock, and barrel. Sure, if you're out there beating your kid with a tire iron, we should probably take them away from you and, you know, saddle you on down to the hokey pokey pokey pokey. Yeah, put you behind the clink. But short of that, if you've got a kid in this world, the buck stops with you. You're responsible for shaping their worldview, not the school. The school is there to teach them how to think, not what to think. And more importantly, in today's society, you as a parent are responsible for steering those kids away from certain worldviews that could harm them. Look, a toehold in the left, you know, the left, what they've done has gotten into our conversation on these topics is a misnomer that just because you don't want your kid learning about the homosexual lifestyle in middle school, that means you want them to be ignorant of such things for the rest of their lives. And that simply isn't the case. But for goodness sakes, folks, can we just teach some actual school stuff for once? I mean, I don't want a straight computer science teacher talking to my kid about sex stuff either. This really shouldn't be a controversy, but hey, good on this parent for stepping up to the plate when it became an issue. Get your kids out of public school, man.
What you, I mean, like, what else are you, why are you their parent if not to do that?
You made a point. We had to go to break. You made a point. We were talking about absolute truth. And even people who aren't necessarily religious are doing what?
Are sending their kids to private Christian schools.